All right, guys. It feels like eternity. We've been together long time. I kind of missed you. I kind of missed you. We did not. Let me see. Yeah, we skipped 2 weeks because there was Thanksgiving. Then I had actually 3 weeks because I had the Instagram stream, then there was Thanksgiving, then there was YouTube stream. So yeah, a lot of things happened, guys, for this time. So I kind of missed you. I gotta tell, I kind of missed these streams with you because especially when you guys do the work, when you engaged and when you ask me questions. When I feel I'm giving you the value, because speaking with talking to the emptiness is not fun. Okay, I'm still gonna do this if that's the case because I know a lot of you watch the stream afterwards, so I still have to work for this. But when you guys engaged in the stream, that's always good. Plus, do not forget that we are almost at the new year, right? Today's what? The 12th. So in a week it's going to be 19th, and then it's going to be 26th. That's it. That's the end. The last day of me working is actually Friday 27th because I'm going on a cruise with the family for 10 days. So I'm gonna be out. I'm not gonna be actively engaged in the process of working on the cases. But of course, you guys know, and a lot of you own the businesses or own the businesses before. You know how it works. If you own the business, you do not have days off, right? You guys tell me, you ever had a day off with running a business? Not really. You always something going on in the back of your mind. You're thinking how to make it better and things like that. So yes, I'm going to be on a cruise, but I'm going to be mostly working on the strategy of developing the company in 2025. Although I see it pretty clear, but always it's good to work on the details. So why I'm telling you all this? Well, because we have 2 weeks, really 2 weeks in this year. And if you guys did not make up your mind, do not know what type of visa fits you, this is a big problem. Okay? Especially when you have my resource almost every Thursday to run your cases, to ask me questions about criteria, basically pick my brain for free, right? And you know that Stanislav Shamaev is not a cheap attorney, right? I'd rather say Stanislav Shamaev is an expensive attorney. So to get a chance to pick my brain for free, this is something you need to use, okay? All right, so what I need from you guys, those of you who are present right now and those of you who gonna watch this afterwards, I want you to make up your mind and at the very least, find the visa that you're gonna be sticking to. Okay? If it's O1, good. E2, no problem. L1, perfect. EB-5, EB-1A, EB-2 NIW, H-1B, EB-2, EB-3 with the labor certification. I don't care which visa you pick. What I care is the result that I can bring to you once you made your choice. Okay? So that's what matters to me. So I want you today, if any, ask me the questions about the visa that you are looking at, the one you consider to file your case in the future. And while you guys thinking, while you guys analyzing this, I'm gonna start going over the today's topic. Let me see. We didn't talk about about the recent approvals. We've got a lot of approvals for the past 3 weeks. I want to touch on. On two of them. One is EB-1A for our Indian-born client who is a biomedical engineer, and like many of you, he's on H-1B with EB-2 approved. His priority date for EB-2 was back in 2021. So for his case being approved on EB-1A, we already requested the substitution of the priority date, and his priority date as if his EB-1A was approved in 2021. And because the priority date for EB-1A for Indian-born people is February 2022, which is after 2021, we are filing his adjustment of status. Okay? Which means he's gonna get his green card by the summer of 2025. So that's what awaits all of you, or most of you, overwhelming majority of you who are from India, who are on H-1B with EB-2 or EB-3 approved before February 2022. Once I get you approved for EB-1A, you guys will be getting your green card within 6 months. Okay? So that's the first case I want to talk about. And the second one is EB-2 NIW. And you guys always ask me, Stanislav, give us more examples on EB-2 NIW endeavors. And we have a lot of approvals on this type of cases. And I think this approval is pretty cool because it talks about the used parts for aviation, for airplanes, basically. Okay, and of course you'd be like, what's the national interest in this type of business? Well, if you guys deal with used avia parts, the airplane parts for the airplanes, well, first of all, you help to keep the airplanes in working condition for longer. Okay, and it's definitely national importance that airplanes don't fall down or keep working, and the companies spend less time purchasing the new airplanes, saving a lot of money, putting that money in the development of the business. But also in this case, they were importing and exporting parts. Right, so it's not only the US interest, that's the global interest, right? So that was a pretty good case. And the funny part, the interesting part in this case, that these clients, they came on L1 visa sometime before, and their L1 visa, let me tell you guys, I call those type of cases like a zombie case. And what I mean by a zombie case, that it's a Walking Dead case. Okay, that's the case you cannot really get approved unless you're like almost a genius. I don't consider myself genius, but with strong team and great creative approach, you get those cases in. So it was a very hard L1 visa, and it wasn't easy EB-2 NIW, although it sounds like it was easy, but it was not. But we got it approved without RFE, and you guys know that EB-2 NIW is right now. Oh my God, that's this time of the year when your SCIS has its round of craziness, and they just send RFEs to all EB-2 NIWs with rare exceptions. Okay, and even within, and I'm not talking about myself, I'm just talking about the industry of EB-2 NIW, because I talk to other attorneys and they all cry out loud like, oh my God, the EB-2 NIWs, there's something crazy going on, impossible to get approved and things like that. Well, we feel that pain too, not as much as everybody else, but yeah, we're still getting them approved. Okay, those are two good cases just for educational purposes. Now, let's talk about the professions. And know that tell you all the time that the category of the talent or the direction of the project, of the endeavor, is not as important as the criteria behind it. And criteria is something that we really look at to get your cases approved and get you the chances on the cases. But with this being said, still, there are professions within the immigration field that are in a bigger demand. And before I start talking about that, let me guys tell you, if you missed that, if you missed by any chance, let me tell you that Elon Musk, the 47th president of the United States of America, yes, and I did not make a mistake, right? We all know who is the real president, the incoming president. He already mentioned a few days ago, maybe a week ago, about the upcoming optimization and modernization, not only of the processes in the USCIS, but he also mentioned that the current system is not working properly. That we need to bring the highly skilled professionals in the US to help this country grow. And we need to streamline those processes. Okay, let's analyze this. What exactly he's saying? Because, oh, that sounds really good. But what does it mean? How can we actually make this happen? What are the actual ways? Because to say one thing, it does mean you have the tools to realize that. But we have the tools. First of all, we have the Senate, the Congress, the House of Representatives, and the President, all from one party, which means we can change the law. Okay? Not the policy behind the law. We can change the law. And we can do it pretty fast. Okay? So this is good news. What exactly can we change to first streamline the process of bringing you guys to the US and make it faster? Okay, so I see only two things to be done. First of all, optimize the processes of approval and the embassy, NVC, and the adjustment of status. Because now that's what takes the most of the time. Like from the day of approval of, let's say, EB-1A till the day you guys go to the embassy, it could be easily 6 to 9 months. Why? My question is why is taking so long? What is taking so long? I don't see it. It's easy. This is the approval. That's NVC. We filed all the paperwork, scheduled the interview. Maybe 2-3 months. Okay? From the time of approval. No problem. So that's what they're going to optimize. Number one. And number two, and I think this is going to be a revolutionary decision if it's implemented. What exactly needs to be done? Right now, we have, and don't quote me on exact number, I believe it's 800,000 visas for all EB categories. EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, EB5, and all subcategories, right? 800,000. Maybe I'm off by 100,000. Don't quote me on that. What we need to do, because that limitation is what stops us to bring you guys on EB2 and EB3 to the US faster, is the limit on how many green cards are allocated to this category. So what needs to be done? This is no-brainer. We need to enlarge the number of green cards allocated to each category. Okay, and obviously we don't need to add anything to EB-5 and EB-1, maybe for the purpose of bringing the Chinese and Indians faster. Okay, because still there's a little backlog for EB-1 for Indians and Chinese. But we definitely need to more to EB-2 and EB-3. So I would love Elon Musk with everybody else in the package to double fold, to X2 the number of the green cards for the highly skilled professionals. So now we have 800,000 green cards a year, a fiscal year. If we make it up to 1.5 million a year and streamline the process, that's going to be of the huge benefit to the US. And that's how we're going to fill all those gaps in the highly qualified professionals. And guys, there's nothing else that could be done. Only that. Enlarge the number of green cards a year and streamline the process. And I believe that's exactly what Musk is talking about. He's not saying it like that, but there's no other way. I know he's a genius. Maybe he sees it differently. But as an immigration attorney, that's how I see it to be done. That's easy and that's going to be fast. So that would be amazing. That would be amazing. All right, not going to touch on that, but that's an important topic to discuss and bring it up to the world so we could give them the ideas if they don't have them. All right, before going to the professions, let me guys see what you get to say. Stanislav Gorditsky, the new president of the US, just reached 400 billion. Stanislav, oh yes, you put it right. Yes, the net worth is basically richer than a few Latin American countries together. That's correct. That's correct. And it's good, guys. It's good when the current president is a rich guy, because he's definitely not going to be trying to make more money. It's going to come organically to him, right? Naturally. So yeah, I think this is good news. Vigorous soul. Can niche sports apply, such as chess players? Absolutely. 100%. First of all, vigorous soul, I don't buy that chess is a niche sport. I think this is pretty popular sport. Definitely chess, even checkers. I don't see any problem. If you have recognition, national or international, as a chess player, a checkers player, sure, no problem. All right, guys, give me more questions if you have about what I'm talking about. I'm gonna start going over the professions for the talent visa, and I would even add for 2025. Okay, professions for talent visa for 2025, and not even professions, but the sectors. I'm gonna call the sectors of the professions and occupations that will be in most demand for talent visas in 2025. Number one sector, and you guys probably gonna argue or maybe disagree with me, or you will be surprised, but I will call number one sector of the professions for 2025 as agriculture. Okay? Agricultural sector. And not only the direct category as building a farm or gathering the oranges or bringing the fertilizer to the fields and irrigation system. Sure, all this counts in, but everything that surrounds the agricultural sector. Okay, if you a chemist, if you biologist, if you businessman, bringing the innovation and technology to the agricultural sector, if you bring the equipment and gear for the agricultural sector, like tractors. I'm having a EB-2 NIW case right now. The guy is involved in bringing the small tractors, small trucks for the farmers, right? Because we have big tractors and big trucks, but there is a lack in a small type of equipment, which is very useful for any type of farm, right? Like sometimes you don't need a big truck to pick something up and deliver, and you can use a smaller truck or tractor, but those smaller ones don't use so much fuel and just use less resources, right? So this is a really good endeavor. I believe we're gonna get it approved without RFE. But even things like repair of the farm equipment is gonna be good, right? So the direct and indirect things, professions regarding agricultural sector. Okay? So if you guys may think about application of your talent to this type of things, farms, plants, trees, ecology overall, better growing, better yield of the whatever you grow, the corn, the yeast, whatever, right? This is gonna be good because agricultural sector is in a huge demand. Okay, so that's sector number 1. Sector number 2 is mental health awareness. Okay? And I know you guys thought it would be AI, right? AI is next. The second place is mental health. Guys, this category is huge problem in the US. Huge, big problem. So, and again, don't think about those sectors closed-minded. Oh my God, mental health, I'm an IT. That's not what I'm dealing with. No, that's not how you should think. If you're IT and you're hearing, okay, the best things are agriculture and mental health, how can I apply my IT skills in those categories? Maybe I'm gonna create a software to help farmers to track the yields, or track how much fertilizer they put in the field and track the results. Maybe I'm gonna combine my IT power with a doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, and create a platform for mental health awareness. And by the way, guys, those are real cases I'm telling you about, okay? Those are real cases that I got approved. So don't think if you're a businessman or you're IT or you're engineer or even if you're a doctor in something else, you cannot apply your professional skills in those categories. You can, absolutely. Especially if you put time and energy into this. All right. So mental health awareness is really big, really big. Big problem, huge demand for software, for applications, for specialists in all kinds of things. If you want to organize retreats for people, if you want to do the mental health awareness in the corporate settings, if you want to do it for the general consumers, all those things gonna work. Okay, this is the second one, and a huge category. I can't even describe it. Okay, maybe even bigger than agricultural. So start thinking, how can you incorporate in your future cases the bits and pieces from those big categories. Number 3, I already said it, and you guys know it. Artificial intelligence. That one is also big, it's huge, and it's growing so fast. So fast. Trust me, guys. I'm dealing with this industry every single day. Not only by using the technology, but knowing what you guys are working on, those projects. And this is crazy. Okay? This is crazy. What you guys working on, those technologies, that software, integration of AI in every and any sphere of our lives, it's happening as we speak right now. So if you are an expert in artificial intelligence or you're working on some projects, your talent, your endeavor is in huge demand in the US. Okay? And most of you are working in Python, really good, no problem, but there are other ways to be involved in artificial intelligence, not only from the standpoint of coding and programming, but also from the standpoint of using it as a technology in business, as a tool to help other businesses grow. Okay, so if you are engineer, IT, architecture, graphic designer, interior designer, even if you're a chess player, like there was a question about chess, right? Think how you can combine your petition with artificial intelligence, because just those words in the petition already elevates your petition in the eyes of immigration officer. So that's number 3. And let's summarize. Agriculture, mental health awareness, artificial intelligence. Okay? I'm going to give you 2 more. The 4th one is cyber security. Okay? And I'm not going to be the one to tell you guys that every single minute, we've been together for 28 minutes, guaranteed 28 hackers attacks happened within those 28 minutes minimum. And not just regular hacker attacks, but on huge institutions, banks, stores, the government agencies, corporations, anything. Okay? Every single minute there is an attack. So cybersecurity is huge. Huge. If you guys dealing in cybersecurity one way or another, absolutely that's where you need to focus your energy to bring your cases to life. Okay? That's number 4. And number 5, guys, and there's more. Okay, there's more. I'm gonna, I can mention engineers, doctors, IT specialists just in general, ecology, chemistry, mathematics, all this good stuff. Absolutely, it's always good. But I'm trying to give you the niche professions or categories where you could thrive with your talent visas and EB-2 NIWs. Okay? So last in this top 5, but definitely not least, is blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Not only from the standpoint of IT, everybody, data analysts, business analysts, financial analysts, experts in the field, the app builders, and everything else, the financial sector is gonna be just huge. Okay? And you guys know that this current Trump administration, Musk's administration, is pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin, pro-blockchain, and pro-AI and everything else, pro-technology. So the experts in these fields are going to thrive, including Bitcoin mining. Okay? Bitcoin mining is going to be huge too in itself. Because as you know, as of today, about 40% of the hash, of the mining hash, in other words, of the mining power of the Bitcoin network is in the US. So guess what? The experts in this field are in a huge demand. To support this 40% of the hash, a lot of people needed. Engineers, technicians, experts, the blockchain specialist, the cooling specialist, all this good stuff. Okay? So always think, how can you connect your talent, your profession to one of those 5 categories, and you guys will be golden. Okay, so let me summarize. Agriculture, mental health awareness, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, blockchain, cryptocurrency, mining, Bitcoin. Okay? All right. So, of course, there's more, but these top 5, I believe, are the best to apply your knowledge, your talent, your occupation in. Alright, let me remind you guys, if you did not get yet your free evaluation to see if you have the potential, you guys missing out. So, I'm gonna give you the links to get your cases evaluated for free. I'm gonna give you the talent visa, the first one, and the second one, the EB-2 NIW, all right? Because those are the talent visas. So you click on the link, you fill out the form, and within 2 days, I'll get back to you with free analysis of your case, which visas are good, which criteria are good. If we have the potential, look for the word potential. If I told you you have the potential, that means you're ready for the second step, complex immigration planning, where I'm gonna build this strategy in your case. And you're gonna get it in writing with a list of documents. And the third step is to start working on the strategy with my team with a service called Complete Case Filing. All right, let me look at your questions, and guys, drop me the questions, because if I answer the questions that I see right now and there's nothing else, that's it. We're gonna wrap up. Okay, Vigorous Soul, how much does it cost to apply for EB-1A? Beautiful question, guys. Beautiful question. So there are different ways how to answer this question. Because how much does it cost in the industry and how much does it cost with my company? Those are 2 different questions, right? So I'm not going to address the industry because our prices are within the market, but I'm going to discuss it with in a format. What are the prices with us, and also what are the other additional costs that you may have with your EB-1A. So we have 4 costs, okay? 4 major categories. The attorney's fees, how much you're gonna pay to the attorney to lead your case. The government fee, you have to pay for the government to adjudicate your case. The translations, if we have documents in language other than English, and the improvement of the case, right? Working with the PR agencies and other vendors to bring more stuff into your case. So those are the 4 categories of your expenses. As to the attorney's fees, that's usually, in majority of the cases, is the largest expense. So you can get your EB-1A approved paying for the attorney for as low as $13,000. Okay, $13,000 is the bottom price working with my company. We have higher prices if you want to delegate some work to the team. Okay, we have 4 levels of the prices. the more you pay, the more benefits you get, and less involved in the case. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, the government fee. Each visa may get a different government fee, but if you put $3,500, so 3,500 in your expense list, you're not gonna miss. Okay, you're not gonna miss, and that's encompassing the expedited processing, the premium processing. All right, so that's number two. Number three, the translations. If your petition is in English and you're from English-speaking country, there is no expense for translations. If you are from a country where there's a different language other than English and your case is in another language, we need to translate that case. So there's no way to say how much it's gonna cost, because each country is different, each language is different. But realistically, you need to put I would say $2,000-$3,000 for translations. Okay, if you're gonna spend 500, sure, no problem, but it could be up to $2,000-$3,000. And number four, that's actually must be number two by the numbers, because improving your case could be anywhere from $0 to $15,000. Okay, and that's why I said that in majority of the cases the legal fees are the number one, but it could be different, right? If you have less criteria, less recognition, there is no case. So you have to invest in your case to get those things rolling. So like I said, $0 to $15,000, 1.5, right? Not 50, 15. And average is probably anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000. Okay, so these are four categories you guys need to look at. All right, let's move on. Travel vlogger. I can get E2 visa on e-commerce, Amazon, eBay business. So I guess it's a question. Yes, travel vlogger. Yes, you can. I've done it many times. How long does it take for EB-1A process? So provided that you have the potential in the case, if vigorous so. If you fill out a free evaluation and I get back to you in 2 days and I tell you, hey, that's what's going on, you have the potential, that means that your case is gonna go for 6 months. Okay? I do not take cases that I cannot file within 6 months. Why? Because that means there is no case yet. All right? Because if there is a case, yes, no, it's rare when I have the case, all criteria met, we're good, just need to describe it. Doesn't really happen. All cases need some improvement, but if we can make improvement within 6 months, that's a good case to go. So 6 months for the case collection, for the evidence collection, drafting the memorandum, translation, improvement, description of the criteria, 2 weeks with expedited processing to get it approved. And then depending on the country, if you're Indian born, that's one thing. If you're from other country, about 9 months for the embassy. If you are in the US, about 6 months to get your green card. Okay, so anywhere from a year to a year and a half, depending on your situation. And if you're India born, also depending on situation, could be same thing or could be a few years of wait. Raju, hi, can you please advise what is average cost for O1 visa? Your advice will help to take a look. So pretty much same thing with what I said about EB-1A with less money invested. So the bottom line case for O1 is 11,000, okay, instead of 13,000. The government fee is going to be approximately the same, maybe $3,000, so a little bit less. Maybe a little bit less of translations and definitely less spending the expense on the PR agencies, probably anywhere from $0 to maybe $10,000 with average about $4,000 to maybe $5,000, something like this. So definitely less, not significantly less, but less. Okay, guys, I'll give you 10 more seconds to come up with other questions. If not, we're gonna wrap it up and I'll see you next Thursday then. So let me give you 10 more seconds to come up with the questions and let's see what's gonna happen. Mike, what do you recommend for a doctor who is doing residency in US? I'm on H1B, want to move to a green card. So good, Mike. You're a lucky one. Hands down, Mike. EB-1 A. Okay. I filed for the past 3 years, probably around 30 petitions for doctors. 28 of them for EB-1 A. All of them were approved. Okay? All of them. So, if you are here in H1B and you're a doctor in your residency, we're gonna get you approved. Okay? Please fill out the free evaluation form. The link is the second above your first question. I'll take a look and we're gonna get you going. Okay? So that's EB-1 A. I don't have publications or award, just a standard doctor in my first year as no problem, Mike. No problem. You have criteria, you just don't know about it. Okay? And that's typical. That's typical for doctors. Just through your natural, organic career, you close those criteria. Okay? So that's good. All right, guys. Good questions. Satisfactory involvement. Let's put it this way. But I'm glad. I'm glad you guys still thinking about your green cards. You coming to my streams, no problem. So we're gonna wrap up today. Get your free evaluations before the new year. Don't wait. There's nothing to wait for. Get it done. Come to the complex immigration planning. So I build up your strategy. Then start your case. 6 months, you're gonna get approved. Okay? Not only you, Mike, but everybody else who will have the potential in the case. With that, I'm finishing up. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you next Thursday. And remember, your future begins here. Good luck.